You drive him right up to that homeless shelter, drop him off. He ain't from here, we don't need him. No.
I know it's been talked about a lot.
Good to be
We'll call this Committee of the Whole meeting to order on June 9th, 2026 at 6 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, is there anybody like to speak under public participation this evening? Okay, nobody for public participation. We will start out with item number 4, Molly McCain, presentation of the new fitness court artwork. Molly?
I have some more information. He knows most of it, so I think at least the older original have one. Okay. I don't know if everyone knows me or not. I'm Molly McCain. I'm the community health consultant at the hospital. And we partner with the city to put the fitness court in 2018. And it's seen a little wear and tear in the last 8 years. So we've partnered with Double Oak Branding here in Lincoln, and LEAD, which is why the Lincoln Way is also in that little balloon on there, to put together a message that welcomes everyone and invites them to participate in wellness whatever stage they're in, whatever capabilities they have, and welcoming environment. And I think also since the park pavilion will kind of be aimed at this, it kind of gives a better message for what's there compared to the very faded Abe Lincoln that's there right now.
Yep.
So in the packet, you can see pictures of what it looks like right now. It's all peeled up and looks kind of rough. I don't remember what page number that's on, 2. And then you can see the investments that we've made in that space since 2018. Some of those have been with the city and the city's partnership on keeping it trimmed up nice with the landscaping and everything. But this is going to be all on the cost of Lincoln Memorial Hospital through our foundation. So I think it's going to be really nice. And on, I think the last page or the second to last page, you can see the timeline. So once I get a nod of approval from all of you, we can work with getting the wrap printed and then schedule them to come install it. So, and they're actually the guy that's installing is going to update the equipment that needs updated too, Tracy. So
Okay, perfect.
your guys don't have to do that.
So what questions does the council have for Molly?
Yeah.
With this new type of wrap, is it going to be the same quality of a wrap? And how old was the last one before?
I think this wrap was updated somewhere in the middle, like 4 or 5 years. I think that's pretty much the standard of how long they last with being in direct sun the way this one is. But hopefully since there's a little more variance in the colors on this one, it won't show the wear quite as fast.
So is that what you plan, like every 4 or 5 years? It's probably
I think we'll just have to see how this one holds up. Since we're going to have someone professional that actually does fitness courts all over the U.S. wrap this one, it might last a little bit longer than the other ones. I think the other one, we only fixed the inside panel and not the outside. The outside might be original from 2018. So.
and is this a final, like, approval? I mean, it's everything ready to go with this exact style
Yep.
and everything that you have?
Yep,
together?
and I don't know if you can see it on the inside panel on one of these. If I scroll far enough down. So it's kind of a model of the scale. It's really teeny tiny on there, but you can see the City of Lincoln logo and the hospital logo as the sponsors of the court, just to kind of show our partnership on this space.
It's like right here.
How has the maintenance been so far with that, or vandalism, or if you have any issues with any of that stuff, having to repair anything, or does anything need to be done now?
I don't think there's been any like major vandalism. I know that it's peeled up, and I think since there's kids over there, they've peeled at it just as anyone would once things start to peel up. But there's never been any like spray painting or any other kind of vandalism really. The most that we've had to do was in 2021. We had to replace some equipment just because of wear and tear.
Mhm.
So
That's been,
Yeah.
it's pretty held up pretty good.
Yep.
Okay, good. All right, thank you.
thank you.
What other questions? Mr. Parrott?
Well, would it benefit to plant any trees around there at all for shade or any of that type of purpose?
Yeah, so one of my kind of leads me into the other half of this. If you're okay with me doing that, or you want me to wait on that?
Let's have Mr. Landers respond to that, and then I want to wrap this one up because
Yeah.
when you go into the next one,
Perfect.
I think you're going to get a lot of
We
questions.
have planted some trees with a walking path. Nothing that would really affect the fitness court, but there's plenty of room. There's no reason why we couldn't put some trees in there.
Anything else, Mr. Parrott? Okay, so is the council okay with this design and moving forward? She's already worked with the fitness court organization. They're ready to go. I wanted her to come present it to you, and you have an opportunity to see it before it went live. Mr. Bateman?
Almost sound like Debbie Downer here, but where the balloon is, do you have an alternate, can we get at least a couple more alternate, more Lincoln themed stuff, I guess is what I'm trying to get
Lincoln themed stuff?
at. Lincoln's,
Do you want to? I mean, what are you thinking? The wagon? I mean, what are you thinking? I think that's what I'm hearing.
yep. No, I'm saying remove the balloon, other logos.
I think the balloon there was meant to, because of the balloons and the festival every year, but it also has the Lincoln Way logo on it as sort of a branding. 'Cause they are doing the work.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, you're fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so if there are no concerns, I don't think we need to vote on it because there's no financial impact to the city. So sounds like you can move forward
Okay.
with the fitness court company and stay on schedule.
Yeah. And my hope is to have some sort of like launch once it's updated and have some classes out there to kind of get the excitement built back up with it. So,
Okay. Molly has another topic that she'd like to speak to the council about.
yeah.
Her and I have been having a discussion. This is a broader topic regarding the 8th Street property, and it's about putting together a master plan. The hospital wants to help with that. So Molly, I'll let you take it from there.
I also have information for that. Because I don't go anywhere unprepared. So Tracy and I have been talking about the cohesiveness of the space. Obviously the hospital has a lot of history with 8th Street and wants to see it flourish, and so does the city of Lincoln. So there's already a few things in the works on the property, so our goal would be to work with Farnsworth, which you'll see here, to create a master plan so that all of the pieces fit together nicely and there's paths in between things and trees. Maybe even another pad next to the fitness court we have that's just for like actual like yoga classes or Pilates out there. Some sunshades to go over them, so that you have shade, because right now it's direct sunlight. Splash pad, playground, which you already mentioned, are all things we've talked about with Farnsworth. And this would be a gift to the city, as in the foundation's gonna pay for the whole master plan process and just work with me and the city of Lincoln to make it possible. So you can see the estimated timeline in there, and what the projected goals will be. There'll be a packet of information and an actual like 3D renderings to be able to see what it looks like, and also a breakdown of like different projects. So like a playground, how much would that playground that they want to put in cost versus like a splash pad, so that we can phase it instead of trying to accomplish it all at one time.
Yeah, we've been kind of just piecemealing things on that property for,
Yeah.
ever since the dog park, so it'd be nice to have a plan. Mr. Bateman?
Obviously, if you've been watching city council meetings for a long time, I've always been in favor of a splash pad. And working in Springfield, I can tell you for those of the people that don't know, the pump track in Springfield is extremely popular.
Yeah.
And the splash pad in Sherman is always packed.
Yeah.
So I don't know why we can't have those things in our town. So I'm in favor of it.
What other questions council have? Mr. Becky?
Molly, do you know, like you said, it's strict sun and it's all metal and it's really super hot. Was there plans in this, without reading this in more detail later, of some type of, like I said, manual covering, instead of relying on trees, but actual some type of the triangular shading?
Yeah, the sunshades. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something
So-
like that, or maybe half of it or something.
Yeah, our goal would be to obviously make it easier to be there in the middle of the day as we progress, maybe with this actual like master plan to have
That's
more
considered, yeah.
accessories
And I think
as
it
part
would
of it.
Crank up more attendance, people wanting
For
to come
sure.
out there.
You don't have to be out there in the dark in the summer to actually use it. Yeah.
Oh, and one more question.
Yeah.
What about, like, have you ever thought about lighting, any other lighting for nighttime?
Yeah, so lighting is one of the things that we mentioned when we were walking the property with Jeff from Farnsworth. So that would be part of the plan too. Yep.
Okay. Ms. McClellan?
So you all are planning on paying for the engineering, and then we'll have, and going forth after that, is there more investment for each of these activities, or?
Yeah, I think there would be room for partnership on those funds going forward. And also, when I was talking to Jeff from Farnsworth, he thinks once we have a plan, we'd be able to apply for an OSLAD grant to potentially cover a lot of the stages too. So having the plan really helps us to be able to apply for those things. So.
Mr. Paris?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Parrott?
A pump track, was that something that in your thoughts as well, or is that Mr. Bateman? Is that like for skateboards, or
Can
is
someone
that for
explain
like
what a
bikes,
pump
or what's
track
that
is?
for?
It's bicycles
It's bikes mainly, yeah.
that aren't pedaled.
Oh,
It's like curved and
So
up
you
and down
literally
and
you
round.
get going, and
yeah.
then as you go over the hill, it's like pumping yourself on a swing. You
Mm-hmm.
push down on the bike, and
Yeah.
it sounds weird till you watch it. I mean, they literally don't pedal, which makes it cool for like 3, 4, 5-year-olds.
okay.
Those
Yeah.
kind of lighter type bicycles.
Yeah.
Skateboarders could ride the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, that's what that one in Springfield is a pump track.
Okay, thank you.
What other questions? Mr. Becky?
Can I just ask you a question? Now, this property, so the hospital owns the equipment, and then the city owns all that property.
The city owns the property, the city owns the fitness court. It was donated to the city.
Yep.
And then the insurance part of it, the liability insurance part of that, will that be any issues? That's on the city as well?
It's been covered.
That would all be, so with this addition of what they're suggesting with this reconstruction thing, that would be considered in our premiums and things too, right?
Yeah, I mean,
That will,
I guess essentially the way you look at it is we have a really great partner with the hospital.
Right.
Because they've done a remarkable job of helping us build that property up. And this is just another example of continuing to try to grow that property for the community. So, for the betterment of the community, right?
Yeah,
You're part of the Healthy Community Collaborative, correct?
that is correct.
Yeah. And we have talked about briefly the 3rd Street lot. I think we forget about that.
Yeah.
But down by the health department on 3rd Street, we own an empty lot where street and alleys used to be. ComEd came in, they remediated the property. It's actually beautiful green space sitting over there. We need to start thinking about potential uses of that in the future as well.
Yeah.
But Mr. Konza would like a train park.
Yeah. Well, it's called Railway Observation Park, which Rochelle, the city of Rochelle, has. If you,
Do we just put a platform on the edge by the train?
yeah, with a covered platform, and That you can add other things to it.
There you go.
Rochelle has one, La Plata, Missouri has one.
So Mr. Conzo may be speaking to people about a train park. There you go. All right. Okay, what do you need from the city for this? Do you need us to approve the master plan? What's the next step?
I think just having your go-ahead to schedule meetings with Farnsworth and get going on it. There'll probably be meetings in the packet. There's different things where they might come to you all for feedback on things because it is your property. And I'll communicate that stuff with you directly as we move forward. I know he wants to have a meeting with at least you and I. sometime
Yeah, and
soon.
I'd like the Parks Committee to be involved as well.
Okay, perfect.
The development. John, do you think we need is there anything that requires a vote from the council on this or not at this time?
Right now, I don't believe there is a vote that is required. I think a blessing would just suffice.
Okay.
Because we do own this park. There's not going to be a disbursement of funds at this time, nor is we creating a property interest by the installation of said fixtures on that park at this time. So if it's just engineering that we're not incurring any costs on, then no.
Okay, thank you. Okay, is everybody okay with Molly proceeding forward with Farnsworth on this? Okay. Mr. Landers, you gotta raise that hand up high, sorry. Don't throw your shoulder up.
So, you said that your gentleman with Farnsworth, his name's Jeff. Could you send me his contact information? I have some questions. I don't know if they have experience with this previously, but like as far as, power supply and things like that, because we're getting ready to do some work as far as power over there, dropping some power. So if we're gonna do that, it might be beneficial if I have that information and if we need to change something, when we do that work.
He'd love to speak with you anyway, so this works great.
Okay,
Either send him my contact information or vice versa, either way.
Sure.
so we'll get a meeting set up with you with the Parks Committee.
Perfect.
Walt will invite you to that too. I mean, you're already part of it, but we'll make sure you're there.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Molly. Appreciate your
you.
time.
Have a great night.
You as well. Okay, next item up is item number 5, property purchase at 417 North Madison Street. Wes?
Thank you, Mayor. In doing this, I don't know if I worded it correctly after talking with John earlier. So what I'm asking for is the blessing to put a bid in on an auction. So this property is a derelict property that has been lost to taxes. So with that being said, the owner, the now owner, auctions these off. So this property itself has been nothing but a headache and eyesore for as long as I've been in this position. It's completely filled with garbage always. I've cleaned it up more than once, and within a very short time, it's filled right back up. So my intent is to, actually, we've got it scheduled tomorrow to do a major cleanup there. And once that's done, unfortunately, it'll slowly start getting back to how it is right now. However, if we were to obtain it, then at least we could control it. If nothing else, I could put no trespassing signs on it, and the individual who is actually next door, the property owner, is the one who trashes this one. So at least, if nothing else, we could control it to the fact of get rid of this stuff. If he's trespassing on it, he could be cited for that. For a minimal purchase, I think it's, if nothing else, the neighborhood itself doesn't have to look at all his garbage all the time. So that's basically what I'm asking. The auction's not for a little while, so like I said, John and I had talked, so I think what I'm asking now is the ability to bid on this property.
Mr. Parrott?
Mayor, can you bring this up on Google Map and just show everybody? Because it is, if you've never driven by it, and I really haven't, but I just brought it up, and it
And depending on
it's
what,
bad.
Google didn't play it up, did it?
No.
depending on what map or what time frame the map you're looking at, it changes because we unfortunately pick it up regularly. Yeah.
You can Google Earth and rewind many years and see
Mm-hmm.
over and over and over again.
See, the lot's pretty clean right there. Go down the road.
That, what you're looking at right now, the house is one lot,
Oh,
and
I'm
everything
so
to your right was a separate lot that I'm looking at. The house is 415, the lot is 417. And then to the north is an empty vacant lot that's separately owned, which is clean.
Hold on a minute. Lost it.
No, just the lot. The house is on 415, the lot is on 417.
Here's the,
Correct.
this is 417, right?
Why
Correct.
need
From,
417?
we'll just say from where the
That's why
grass
you use
starts to the
417.
north to the house is the lot I'm speaking of.
This?
Correct.
Yeah.
That is full from there to the alley, like unable to walk through full. Well, that yard is dirt, so it's not hard to mow.
But it doesn't have junk. That's what
I think, it absolutely will, and then he'll get a wild hair, and then it'll be clean for a week, and then, so what you're looking at right now is surprisingly clean.
And the neighbors are beyond fed up with it.
Oh, yeah.
I've fielded multiple calls over the years.
And, yep. The garage in the back,
Is it this right here?
that's correct.
So if we purchase it, then do we clean that up?
I'm already cleaning it up. That's gonna happen regardless.
This would be the second time you've cleaned it up, correct?
No, it's third or
Third?
fourth, probably more.
Oh.
My point is I'm going to clean it up regardless who owns it, and then unfortunately I'm going to have to go do it again at taxpayer expense. So my concept is to, at least if we own it, if nothing else, we can control it and say, get off our property.
Wes, what is the estimated cost per cleanup?
For this one, it'll probably be, I've got 4 roll-offs sitting there right now. My guess is probably $6,000.
Right, we're just. getting
No,
started.
I'm gonna do what I can to get metals, cause there is a lot of metal in there. I'm gonna set it off, and then at least try to get something back out of that. And then the rest, I'll put a lien on it. Which
So-
wouldn't matter at that point.
So in Wes's memo, he says $850. The process we used to follow was we have a very good relationship with the Logan County trustee. They would notify us of things like this when they came up for sale, and then they would offer them to us for the lowest bid. Now the laws have changed, and we have to actually go through the bid process like everybody else. John, do you want to explain that, to everybody?
So the law is about to change. It's anticipated to be signed into effect here very soon. The idea being is that there was a Supreme Court case in Illinois. There's still currently pending one. But I believe there was one that was in Minnesota that utilized a similar process to what Illinois utilizes for tax sales. There was an instance in Minnesota where there was a sale where a municipality or another entity, I don't even know if it was a municipality, that was acquiring properties but then selling them at a profit, which we have never done here. We've typically acquired our properties for the $850 and then turn around and sold them for $100. We actually sell them for a loss, it seems like. But with the idea that we're getting the properties into people that will improve upon them, improve the properties, and thereby increase the tax rolls. But that process is coming to an end because of the Supreme Court case. What is going to happen now is that if they will only offer properties that we have demolished or in the process of demolishing. They will, and that offer won't come until after the bidding process. So what they will do is they'll put the bidding process out there with our lien that exists for the demolition. If somebody bids on the property and they want to purchase it, they would have to purchase it and pay off our lien, which you would think, hey, great. But no one's going to purchase an empty lot with a $12,000, $15,000 lien on it. So in effect then, if nobody purchases it, then they will turn around and offer it to us for the $850. Speaking with the trustee, they said, or you could just, at the outset, just offer the $850, okay? If you have a lien on it. If someone comes in and bids you out higher, then of course they would still have to pay off your lien. That is the process that's going to be changed. So that's why we have to go through and put in bids now. And the law isn't in effect yet. but they are already going through with this process with the full anticipation, in fact, that it's going to be signed into law. So they've already changed up how they're doing things over there. They're being proactive, try to get ahead of this. So that is the process we have to utilize going forward. So if you want to purchase a property, you don't have to quote unquote vote on it right now because we're not expending money, but you're putting a bid in, and if that bid is accepted, then we would have to pass an ordinance for the purchase of real estate. So.
Mr. Bateman?
I can just see our Facebook warriors out there after this meeting's over, that this gentleman shouldn't have to go through this because he's kept all the junk behind the fence.
Well, I think I think their
Well-
neighbor would disagree.
His fences are, I wouldn't call them fences. They are.
Are you talking about this little thing here?
He's kept the junk behind his fence?
It is. Correct. He's the one who lost it.
Yeah.
He's lost it. Yes. Prior to them taking it for taxes, he was the one who owned it.
So is the council okay placing it on the regular agenda, authorizing Wes to place a bid on this? Oh, hold on. Ms. McClellan has a question.
So are we gonna pay $6,000 twice to clean it up twice?
We've already paid it a couple times.
I've paid, I don't know how much over the years. What I'm saying, right now, we're picking this up tomorrow, regardless of the conversation tonight. That's already in the works. That's happening tomorrow, regardless. My point or my request is after this, if we can potentially acquire it, then that won't be the case in the future, you know.
So how long before the auction? How bad do you
I
think it's
believe
gonna
it's
get?
in August,
Oh, in August, okay.
so.
Nothing we can do to keep it from happening again and another $6,000?
No.
Okay.
Mr. Hobbit?
It'll give him less time to go crazy, I suppose. But this is a situation where you can turn your back, and I've seen a trailer pull in there with, I think I counted like a double long car trailer with like 20 mattresses on it. And when I confronted him about it, he said his cousin just dropped it off. Well, I guarantee you his cousin went to wherever and said, hey, give me $5 a piece and I'll get rid of those. And he drove over there and dropped it, and until it set on fire, that's where it stood. So
John, did you have something?
I believe at this time, Mayor, you can always set it for a vote, but I don't want to, there's no expenditure of money at this time. We're placing a bid. I know we've set kind of the 850, but given the fact that this is, quote unquote, an auction, I guess you could say, a bidding procedure, we might come back and think that we need to bid more, in case we want to acquire this property. So I would recommend maybe just give Mr. Woodhull an indication that to engage within the bidding procedure.
But not through a vote next week, just give them
Yeah.
a nod, okay? Mr. Becky and the whole row, we'll start. Mr. Becky, why don't you start and we'll go from there.
Okay. I went by there today, and I remember this fire from last year. It was started in the garage, but it was a massive fire. It was a hot fire with a vehicle in the garage. And that lot, that's Madison there with the car. You go straight back by that other garage, and that's an alley behind there. And then you got the fairgrounds in background. And he's right. There's a lot more. And I am for the city purchasing that, if not just to have that, some legal way of not having anything more put on there. But that, and I don't know what the surveying is on that property, because that junk in that house and that garage and another shed are all right together. I mean, it is right there with all his stuff that's on it. And I don't even know, like I said, I saw a couple men in there as I was driving around and in the alley, but I don't even know if that's appropriate to live in that house. I don't even know if that was condemned with that massive fire or what.
the
But
house was never on fire. It was only the garage on
so
the
it
alley.
contained for everything behind the house up front,
Just
or to the back rather. I'm sorry.
no, on the alley. That garage on the alley was the only thing that was on fire.
Yeah, because it is, like you said, it is right up to that.
Oh,
But
and judging by what you see right here, I can't imagine what it's like inside. But right now, the least of my worries is that I'm looking at more what affects the general public and
Yeah.
what people have to look at every day.
Okay, Mr. Bateman?
I was just gonna suggest that sometime in the future, we put a fund together where, why do we keep having to bring this up? Put a fund together where Wes can purchase properties for $1,000 or less and have a cap in that fund.
I don't know.
I mean, I've only sat here 7 years, and for crying out loud, you know, we tore down houses that cockroaches ran in every direction, and, you know. Yeah, so, I mean, just do it. Instead of sitting here asking us questions, just get the property bought, tore down, make it an empty lot.
John,
Tree huggers
you have
would love
anything to
us.
say
It's gonna
about
be
that?
green grass.
I don't know if we can avoid the process because technically the city is acquiring property, and I think you need to have a vote to do that. But I'll let John weigh in on it.
You can give Mr. Woodhall a cap, let's say for bidding, on properties, and if you want to give him, like say the power, the ability, to go out and seek bids, just send an email to the council. Hey, council, I'm looking to, acquire this property in the bidding procedure. If I don't hear back from you on such and such date, I'm going to go ahead and place a bid. If you want to do that, that's fine. But ultimately, when it comes to the actual purchase of the property, it will need to be done by ordinance.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. So I'm just gonna throw numbers out there. He has an account with $10,000 in it, and we tell him he can bid up to $1,000. Anything over that, he comes to ask the council, shows us pictures, say, do you want to bid more than $1,000 for this property? That's 10 properties a year. That way we're not sitting here doing this, if we had to vote, we're talking about tonight, and we got to vote on it next week. What if the auction was in between, or the owner just said, before it even goes to tax sale? What if the owner just comes forward and says, I don't want this property, you guys can have it for $200, and it looks like that?
Wes, what do you think?
That'd be great.
Okay. All right.
Well, can drop an ordinance.
we'll
and
find
maybe
something.
Get it at Thursday at 4:30.
We'll just have to, let's deal with this one, and then we can
I'll
talk
leave
with
that.
Chuck about the budget.
I don't feel that was necessary, Mr. Bailey.
That'll
but okay.
probably go into your most favorite topic, and that's appropriations. So, but you asked for it, so
We don't have
So-
money in it because the budget was crap.
you asked for it, so now you have to approve it. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, Mr. Anderson and Ms. McClellan.
Okay, a couple things. First of all, Wes, thank you to you and your crew and whoever it is that's been doing the cleanup there. I know it may seem like it goes unnoticed, but thank you very much for doing all that. The third thing that I have, has the owner of this merchandise been notified that this is going to be removed? I mean, this is the garage sale weekend, Route 66. I'll make sure that
He has
that,
he has been notified for the last 8 years.
okay, just want to make sure he's
Continuously.
not
He was-
expecting
He
something.
knows, he was there today, not happy, but,
Okay.
and he was made aware that we will be there tomorrow and all this will be gone.
Very good. The third
Or
thing, I think maybe we kind of covered it here just in some other talks, but, talked about doing the purchase, the bid for $850, but I just want to know about putting maybe a cap on it, but it sounds like maybe we're talking $1,000, for allowing Wes to do before he has to come back to the council.
Yeah, in most cases, John kind of touched on this. Every time we spend money, this $6,000, we put a lien on it. So it, in theory, it won't go high because someone, even if they buy it for $850, they have to pay off the liens first, and most people will avoid it for that reason. So I think you're right. Any other questions? No. Okay, Ms. McClellan.
I had the same question about a cap, but since it's a public auction now, the public has to have a chance to weigh in, right? Or does the public, do we have to notify the public, or, we're kind of, it seemed like if we were just doing it, Wes was just gonna be able to make the decision. We're kind of taking maybe the public being notified and being able to speak into it out of the equation. I don't know, because I'm not
He's
sure exactly.
essentially bidding against the public on behalf of the city.
He's going to the auction and bidding against the public.
Okay,
So-
so,
The difference is, like Tracy said, someone could say, let's just point to this property. Someone could say, I'll give them $1,000, but it's actually $7,000 because they owe us $6,000. Where if we bid $800, we don't have to pay the $6,000.
I don't know, I'm just kind of feeling like I like having the information and having Wes run it through us, so I'm just saying.
Okay. Mr. Hoblet?
I think more the appropriate term is he's bidding with the public. So he's going out there, the public's out there, they're making
enough.
bids, and we're making a bid just like any other person or any other entity that's going to be making a bid on this property. So it's not that he's bidding against them or separate and apart. It's just that we're just now a part of the process that everybody else is a part of. So
Good point. Okay, any other questions? Okay, so no vote required next week. Wes, sounds like you have the blessing to move forward. You had another topic you wanted to bring up as well?
It's essentially the same thing, but I'm willing to bet more conversation. Exact same process, but this one is 501 Pulaski, which is the old Oasis. It is in the same position, lost for taxes, going up for auction. We're just putting it out there because of what it is, where it's at. As far as the city goes, once again, I am constantly, I'll say, in there, troubled with it. Matt and Joe's guys are as well. I catch people coming out of there. I've boarded it up again last week. The copper being stolen, that sort of thing. If nothing else, once again, to have control of it for a minimal amount. I know the mayor had mentioned a potential grant down the road that would go forward with a potential demo, putting it back into green space. I think the cost of any kind of rehab is far beyond anybody's means, especially the cities, without hurting Chuck's heart. So, so that's just it's just another one on the list of these tax sales. So I wanted to bring it to your attention.
Mr. Barrett?
So, what is the condition of the building inside?
Inside is junk. The outside is literally what you see there. It's in very good shape, honestly, structurally. The exterior walls and the foundation are solid. I have faith in that. We were going to look into a structural engineer having a look at it, but I think we talked about it, and it would be throwing good money at bad at that point, because basically if you were to rehab it, you would start from the ground up, so to speak. The shell itself is in really good shape and supported and structurally sound. The floor, which is the second floor, which is technically now the roof because there is no roof, is failing. Same with the ground floor. There's some soft spots here and there. You get in the basement. It's wet, but not as wet as you would think. I mean, most of the wet is kind of material from above getting wet and kind of sloppy, I'd call it. Like I said, the basement itself is concrete. I mean, wall to wall, solid inside out. It is stout. Same with the walls. The second floor is covered in solid rubber. That was part of the rehab after the fire. And there's buttresses, there's angle buttresses coming down to support the walls. Several years ago, I put new plywood up in all the windows, painted it black, just pseudo look better. But it's not in very good shape inside. I don't think it's in like a need of, or it's going to collapse or anything. That's not a worry. But it would be a significant investment to do anything with it.
So,
And the alternative is someone coming in there and buying it for $850, and there it sits forever.
I think we should buy it.
yeah, we talked about it prior to bringing it to council. I made some calls to DCEO about this, and if this building is not salvageable, there is a grant that we could apply for, but it is only for demolition, and it has to be turned into green space. So we could get the money. The idea was, if we had to go down this road, we don't want to take on another Sangamon Street cost, right? We don't have another $250,000 to put into a building. So it's an option. If you guys are interested in acquiring it, You acquire it knowing that you're gonna have to do a complete, at least, restoration of at least the floors and structure before you can, sell it off to someone else. If you don't want to and the grant is possible, there is a possibility of doing something else with this property that we didn't anticipate, but it can't be turned. I've heard this before from other people. We could turn it into like 8 good angled parking spots. You can't do that. Has to be usable green space. So that's your options. Mr. Becky?
What is the cost? What would the cost for demolition be on something like that?
Demo, I would just spitball $250,000 plus, probably in that area.
Would the grant be that much?
Yeah, I forget what it was, but I believe it would cover that amount. I could reconfirm.
I agree on that too. I'm purchasing that one because, and again, it's just going to sit like that forever, and it has to be addressed sometime. And I think it would be a good addition to the downtown area as well, being a green space. You could utilize some things on it. I don't know what limitations there are when they're terminate green space. If anything else can be put on top of that. I mean, and I'm not saying parking
Parks.
space, but I'm just saying like park benches or whatever.
Yeah, one of the things we kicked around was if we went down that road and we could demo it and preserve the wall. And when I say preserve the wall, I don't mean in the shape that the Sangamon Street is, that wall. I mean like a fairly good exterior wall in the end that we could do something tourism related, a mural, like Pontiac when you drive a car up and you can take photos, a photo op, a park, something. But a couple other things too that haven't been said. In the back of this building, and Wes can keep me honest, there's a low portion, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
story.
People climb up there all the time, correct?
Yeah, I don't.
It's an access point
how
to
they
the other
get there,
roofs.
To be honest, they're pretty. It's interesting how they get up there because I've actually tried myself and a fireman just because we can't figure out how they get up there. They got to climb like a 4-inch drain pipe, and then on that upper wall they get up there and graffiti curse words, and I get up there and paint over it. And
Yeah, so there's that. Also, not too long ago, a couple weeks actually, there's a gentleman, actually the owner of the Giants Museum in Atlanta, and he had been looking at this property for a long time before he went up there. So when this came up, I asked Scott to reach out to him and have a conversation. They came down, and Ty and Chief Harding, Deputy Chief Harding, took them through this building. Did you want to add anything about what you observed in the building with them?
No, I think Wes stated it clearly. It's in worse condition than I imagined. That's saying it nicely.
Okay. So just a couple other things to think about. And that guy said, yeah, I don't think so, but thanks for the tour.
So who is the neighbor to the right there in the beige building?
It's a title company, isn't it? Or yeah. I think it's a title
Would that
company.
structurally be, I'm just looking ahead on the demo. You're demoing a 3-story building on that side. It's going to affect them.
most of these are just sharing, much like the Sangamon Street property, they're just sharing technically a party wall. So if anything, sharing joist pockets, which was precisely the case over there. So that would all be part of a demo process.
Yep. So what do you think? If we can get the grant, acquire it, try to.
Is there a time or a date when they're going to auction that?
Same.
It's in August as well.
August.
They're all the same.
And the grant has not opened up yet, so it is fast approaching.
So we'd have time to check on the grant and decide later on that one.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm certainly the way the grants move, we have to probably make this decision now.
All right. Sounds like you have the
Yeah, and I
blessing.
I've just heard of this grant in conversation, so regardless, it's our responsibility, like the other one, say being in control of it. To some degree, we are already in control of this one. basically running calls as far as like I said, I just boarded up a back door last week after I watched a guy walk out of there at 7 in the morning and screamed and yelled at him, put a padlock on it that I had already put on. It was cut off 2 days later. Myself and the police have been in several times. So
Yep, sorry.
we're already pseudo in charge of it, whether we want to be or not.
Mr. Bateman?
I say buy it, and the difference here is, Wes just said, this building's not gonna fall down. It's the inside that's junk. So if we buy it, then that gives us time to get a grant, figure out what we're gonna do it. It's not like Sangamon Street that was gonna collapse, where it was structurally not sound and a danger to the public. I know this looks terrible, I mean, it does, but if we buy it, then at least we got time to figure out, to come up with the money to take it down.
I think we've waited 3 years for this opportunity.
Well, it was part of the Lanterman,
That's the process.
part of the
No, there was-
Lanterman bankruptcy.
Well, there was another gentleman that bought the taxes,
Yeah.
and because he acquired them, we had to wait until this opportunity came up again.
It's a 4-year cycle by the end of it.
All right, so, Ms. McCollum,
It's not a historic building in any way, is it? There's no like.
it
historic
is in
preservation?
it is in the historic district, and when I spoke with DCEO, there are some additional steps we'll have to go through if we apply for that grant.
But nothing that you see is going to be any problem.
Well, I only had one conversation with them. They seemed optimistic that it would qualify. Person I spoke with at DCEO actually lives in Lincoln, so they're very familiar with this property. So they felt it would be a good candidate.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Mr. Woodhull, I think you have what you need to proceed.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right. Let's move on to item number 6, the sludge tank diffuser replacement. Mr. Mason?
The city uses activated sludge treatment process, and these diffusers are what keeps.
Hey,
the
hey,
sludge-
bud. Sorry. Yeah, I know you got a voice that
I got it,
carries. You
yeah.
might be good, but
They also say I have a face made for radio, but that's another. The city uses activated sludge treatment, and these diffusers is what keeps that sludge activated. We've got a couple sludge tanks down there, and we pump air into it, and it literally keeps everything stirred up so it doesn't go septic, bad odors, and helps break the sludge down. These are short-lived assets that are nearing the end of their useful life, and to be proactive and not run the failure. This is just kind of a general maintenance item, but it is a substantial amount because there's 3,000 of them. We'll have to empty the tanks, get down in there and take the old ones off and put the new ones in. And, we want to make sure that we're, operating the plant properly to make our permit levels. And at the end of the day, that's where the sludge comes from. And then that sludge, though, sounds a little dirty. That's actually is fertilizer. So that's kind of the tail, part of our treatment. The water goes into, I believe it's Deer Creek, and the sludge is the solids that we just can't break down, and we either put it on farmers' fields or haul it to the landfill. At some point, I'd like to have a little bit of an open house for those that haven't seen the plant, but it's, I call it a plant. I like to refer to it as a campus. I mean, it is really impressive what we have down there. So, but again, this is just normal routine maintenance, but it was a larger ticket amount.
Mr. Bateman?
Anybody who wants to take a plant tour, I suggest they do so. When I took the plant tour years ago, but even before Andrew Bounds, these tanks was referred to me where they make a poop smoothie. It's just a bunch of bubbling water.
Okay. Any questions for the, okay.
So are
Ms.
we just-
O'Donohue?
So is the price just the $29,250, or are you asking for more for the freight that's gonna be added?
Well, kind of going off a previous one, that's just the cost of the diffuser. There could be additional freight costs. I did not have that dialed in.
Do we need to make that higher amount for the freight cost, or are we gonna ask him to come back and do this all over again?
Yeah. We have. You okay with that amount? Okay. Mr. Becky?
Well, with that 29,000 bid that was on file, that was, what was the name of the company? That's 29,500. I thought that was just for labor,
No, that's for the actual material.
for just the material. But then what about the?
Our team will do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So it's just material. only.
Yeah, it's a maintenance issue.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. And then is, just by chance, one more question, is that something, I mean, is there just one source for materials, or is there multiple sources?
This is an original, you could buy cheaper, but this is a sole source because this is the OEM, the original equipment manufacturer that meets all the specs. So you could maybe go get something cheaper, but then you're running the risk of, not having the proper things in there.
It not working properly with
Yep.
the, yeah, I agree. Yep.
Okay. So place this on the regular agenda for next week? Okay. Okay, next up is request a permit, Lincoln Christian Church, June 20th, 2026, church picnic. Ms. Bateman?
This is for Lincoln Christian Church, from 4 to 7 on what day is it? The 20th of June, for a picnic, and they just want to close at the corner of Pekin to Delavan in front of Latham Park, basically for safety purposes. There'll be kids around. And they just want to close it from 3:30 to 7.
Are you okay with the consent agenda? Okay. All right, next up is announcements. Before we get to that, I have a walk-on item. Had someone reach out who was already a member of the Diversity and Inclusion Commission. They had recommendations for 2 potential members. As it stands right now, there are only 6 of 12 members on that commission. They haven't even been able to hold a meeting due to lack of quorum. And so I met with the 2 individuals that were recommended. It was Kelly Jo Carter and Elijah Cox. They would both be interested in being appointed to the commission. Are there any concerns with the advise and consent to the appointment of these 2 individuals to that commission? Okay, we'll place that on the regular agenda then too as well, please. All right, now announcements. Who's got announcements? Mr. Barrett and then Mr. Downs.
Yeah, so I was down on Elm Street, and I was just speaking with one of the residents down there on 107, which is the second house on the west from 8th Street, and she was asking, does the city send out any announcements or anything in regards to a road going to a one-way, just to give those residents some knowledge of it beforehand so that they can comment on it? Because sometimes, people aren't able to get the information timely. This seemed to move pretty quickly, and she's not in favor of it just because it's going to impact her, and she's, right there. And her neighbors also to the south, she didn't think, no, she wasn't for sure, that they would have been in favor of this as well. And the one lady living down there on that house is also disabled, and it could impact, her as well. And so I didn't know if we ever send out any type of notices just for their for something to this significance, I guess. If we ever sent out anything regarding a change for their comments.
First time since we've been up here, that we've done this. I don't know if that's included in the process. Mr. Landers, do you know anything about that process?
I have no idea. I can't answer the question.
Is there something that we could maybe do something like that going forward, I guess? I know that we've given people opportunity to speak, especially when we were talking about the trash. We give them let them be able to comment on it.
Yeah. I don't see a problem with that.
Thank you.
Mr. Conzo?
I was just thinking about some of the other things we do, the budget, the appropriation, the tax levy, and we do for all of those things, we print a notice in the Courier, and that perhaps might be the best way to do that.
Agreed. Mr. Downs?
Well, in regards to what Chuck said, for something significant like that, I would prefer letters to be sent to their houses. I mean, What's that?
My question is, where do you stop sending letters? Do you send them to everybody who lives on?
Yeah,
Elm
just the
Street? Do you
people-
Send them to just the people who live in the 2 blocks that you're closing?
Just the people who live on Elm Street. Yeah, that's a good point. But I mean, direct contact would be direct contact for the people who are impacted, who live on that street, I guess, is what I would prefer.
Mr. Hoblet?
To what extent is this going to be, we're establishing a new procedure for this? Is it just for one-ways, stop signs, whatnot? Those guys over there, they have books from their experts, and they have guidelines from which they've go by. And if we're going to essentially throw that out and just have it by the rule of the mass, then we probably need to have a procedure in place.
We did it with Lincoln College. We sent out letters to residents in that area, right? But that was part of the planning commission
Part of
process.
a planning commission process.
Correct.
What's considered significant?
That's a good
mean,
question. So I think
Should
Steve's
we have
at,
called, this owner tonight and had him come over?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I mean, like, where do you, on the agenda, what items are considered significant? As far as Mr. Parrott's saying.
That's a good question.
Well, this would significantly impact them. I don't know if it's going to impact that owner, of Madison so much, but I just think that this would have been, something that we could have done, that there's only a few individuals that live on this street, but she asked, and so I said I would, she brought it to my attention, and so I thought I told her I would bring it to the council.
Yep, I think it's fair to ask. You're right. Mr. Becky?
So what is the purpose of that? What is it going to do? Are you not going to stop anything from happening? I mean, it's a normal, like downtown when they change from stop lights to stop signs, did we have to send out advices? I mean, they're going to put signs there. It's going to be noticeable. Nothing's going to be changed. I don't see setting this precedent to send letters to notify people of parking or one ways is, yeah, like you said, where's that level that you do it? Where's the precedent that you do it in this case or this case? I mean, I don't see how majorly impactful this is, having a one-way in this short little area. I mean, if I had that in my area and I get this offset little area where I live, and if they change it to one way, I just adjust. I don't have to be
Well, I
told for
think
permission.
With this particular one, there was an individual or two that brought the concern up that is impacting hundreds of people. But these people in particular, because they live on the road here. Now, I've drove down a street here not too long ago in Lincoln. You can park on both sides, and there's only enough room for one car to get through at a time. One car. Why don't we make that a one-way?
All you got to do is make the recommendation.
I know, but I mean, we could have a lot of recommendations coming forward to go one ways on these types of roads. And so the lady asked, the resident asked, do we ever give out notifications? I brought it to the council, and we can either decide to do it or not do it.
Oh, I would say the answer to your question is no, we don't typically do that. That's the answer. To Tim's point, the answer is that in establishing a process that does that, you have to think long-term, the impacts of establishing such a process. Then you got to figure out what the parameters are of it, how far out you go, et cetera. But the point, I believe Mr. Parrott's getting at is to notify the residents that something's going to happen that may impact them, to give them an opportunity to at least share their voice and come up and share their concerns with the council. I think that's
And that
it.
was one person, maybe two, but you say you don't know if this other person really felt that way, so you don't know. So it's really the one person. But and again, they have that opportunity here to do it, to come here or to contact us or aldermans in whichever area.
They would have liked
So-
to have done that, but they just didn't know that we were going to vote on it, that it was even a topic of issue. She had lived there for 20 years. and she's never seen an accident. She's never had an issue, you know, and I'm not exactly for sure where all of those accidents occurred. The 4 accidents occurred. Was it between 8th and 9th, from 9th and 10th? Not for sure exactly where those incidents happened.
Mr. Hoblet?
She didn't think it was an issue.
And, you know, if she wants to come up and speak, you know, about that, she's more than welcome to. I would encourage, you know, people to participate, you know, in municipal politics. I will say, as municipality, we are required to post our agendas 48 hours, at least 48 hours in advance. And sometimes, a lot of times, we do that in excess of that. We don't hide anything from the public from items that we are voting on and discuss. As I understand it, this issue from Elm Street came from a resident on Elm Street. A study was done. I understand that council members are going out, people are going out, driving it. Doesn't seem like there's any secrets there. I hate to be, you know, I don't want to sound flippant about it, but if you ignore municipal politics, you know, what's going on in your community, you kind of do so at your own peril. Because every now and then a vote like this will happen and you weren't aware of it. But if she wants to come in and, you know, revisit the issue, there's nothing stopping her. There's public participation, you know, for her to come in and talk, and other residents as well, if they feel like that we moved on this too quickly, or if this wasn't a problem as they say. So.
Okay. Did you have anything else, Mr. Parrott? Anybody else have an announcement? Mr. Downs?
This is unrelated from the Elm Street. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I just this past weekend we held the 6th annual Pride Fest downtown Lincoln, and it was just an update on that. It was a fantastic success. We had a great turnout. Downtown was full. Everyone had a great time. There was zero trouble, and I just want to thank everyone for coming out who participated and had a good time. That was it.
Perfect. Okay. Anybody else? Oh, by the way, we now have enough volunteers to do Third Fridays. Thank you, everybody. Step forward. Tim filled the last gap for us. So.
You had so much fun last month.
That's right. That's right.
I know.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Alderwoman O'Donohue made the motion. Alderman Anderson second. All in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign. This meeting is adjourned at 7:03 p.m.